Hey guys, it's Hayden. I am coming up to 10 months on testosterone, but this video is not going to be on my changes because, quite frankly, the changes are very minimal. You know, my changes are kind of the same thing, but it's just a different month. I mean, really, the only changes that I have seen are, well, I don't have blue hair anymore, obviously. Thought I would try this adult thing, being normal. But honestly, changes are kind of the same. It's hair, you know, my sideburns are still growing in, which is awesome. Hair on my hands, I've been seeing a little bit more, as well as my chest. It's kind of the same thing, but just a different month. I was brainstorming some ideas for topics, and I had a few. And these ideas are things that are just kind of always cycling in my brain. But I talked with some friends on my Facebook, and they were primarily pretty interested in wanting to hear my story from childhood up until now, and coming to this realization that this is me, and I'm trans, and I'm 100% okay and proud that this is me. So I'll be doing a video on that. But honestly, this topic has been weighing on me for a few days now, because I had a phone conversation with my mother the other day, and she was really upset. She was upset in saying that she felt like she let me down as a child, and that she was like forcing me to be someone that I wasn't. But that's not true at all, and I want my mom to know that. I had a good childhood. I have a lot of great memories from my childhood. And you know, I've gotten the question before, what happened to you? Referring to like what happened to me to make me who I am today, aka a trans man. And I don't know if that's a nice way of people asking if I was raped or physically abused, or if my parents had done something wrong in raising me. And quite frankly, the answer for all of those questions are no, no, and no. I mean, I was never sexually abused or raped. I have never been physically abused by my parents. And honestly, my parents have done everything right in raising me. You know, my parents gave me life, and they have stuck by my side through thick and thin. They've been there through it all, and they've showed me support and unconditional love. And that, to me, that's winning as a parent, because not every child has that opportunity, and I did. So if anyone is ever questioning if my parents have done something wrong in raising me, you are very misinformed on it, and you don't know my parents. To me, a parent's duty to give their child is this unconditional love. To love them no matter what, to just love on them, whether that be tough love or just loving them. But it was really painful to hear my mother so upset on the phone, and the fact that she really felt like she had let me down, because she hasn't at all, ever in my life. You know, my mother has been through a lot. She has lost a lot, including a child. My brother, she lost her son. And not every parent experiences stuff like that. And she's the strongest woman I know. And through it all, she still bounces back, and she rises up, and she's still the same beautiful, loving, nurturing, and resilient woman that she is. So this one is for you, Mom. I want you to know that you were the best mother that you could possibly be when I was a child, and you're still the best mother that I could ever ask for as an adult. So starting from the beginning of me being a chubby little child of the 90s, you know, I was my mom's only biologically born female. I mean, I have sisters. I have 5 sisters, in case you didn't know. And some of them are half-sisters, and some are stepsisters. But I was my mom's first and only born biologically girl. And she really wanted a girl, really, really bad. I mean, I don't blame her whatsoever. Like, she's very girly. Her favorite color is pink, and she really likes dresses, and she likes to paint her nails, she likes makeup, she likes to do her hair, all of that jazz. That's my mom. And she rocks it. She's great, and I love her for every little thing that she is. But it's like kind of the opposite of me. But at the same time, we have such big hearts, and we're big feelers, and we want to help people. And that's the most thing that me and my mom have in common, is our emotional side. So as a child, before I could even talk, I was instantly put in dresses and frilliness and little bows in my hair and stuff like that. And my mom, when I was talking to her, she was saying she felt bad because there was times that she remembered when I didn't want to wear dresses and I didn't want my hair done and stuff like that. And you know, for a while I would just take it because I wanted to make my mom happy and I wanted her to be proud. And if making her happy meant that I would be wearing a dress and stuff like that, I would do it for her. And honestly, as a kid, I didn't know about anything of gender. You know, no kid does, really. I mean, you have an idea of it, but I always thought that you were either born a boy or you were born a girl, and you were supposed to act a certain way upon that. And you know, that's what society was, especially in the early 90s. That's just what it was. There wasn't much conversation on gender or transgender topics whatsoever. And that's unfortunate, but things are changing now, and it's a totally different story. But, you know, as a kid, I did like some girl things, and I did like some boy things. I really liked playing with Barbies, but I also really liked playing with G.I. Joes. In fact, my favorite toy was my bendy guys, and they were these little army action figures that could bend their arms and legs and stuff like that, you know. And even I would play with my brother, and we would take my Barbies and take the G.I. Joes and bendy guys and Beanie Babies and like have war with them and stuff like that. You know, being kids, that's what kids do. They have imaginations and they explore that. But you know, as a kid, I was always kind of pinned off as a tomboy. Once I started to talk and having a little bit more voice, I would let, you know, people know that I didn't like wearing dresses and I didn't like people touching my hair. Especially that. I hated people touching my hair. In fact, I had my brother chop my ponytail off once. I just didn't like having long hair where people were constantly want to play with it and put it in pigtails, ponytails, stuff like that. I hated it. But there are some key memories that I have of being a child where I look back to and I realize, like, okay, I knew at a young age, but I didn't really know because you just didn't know. I wasn't informed on anything. I didn't know somebody could exist that was transgender. I didn't even know what that was. I didn't even know what gay was, you know? I do have like this one significant memory. I woke up from a dream and I had to be like 3 or 4 or something, and there was a rocking chair in my room, so I know I was really young. And my mom came into my room and she was holding me and I was crying. And I started yelling at her because I thought that she had the choice to make me a boy or a girl. And I was really mad that she made me a girl. Or one time, me and my brother, we were being babysat by someone and we were in the car. And I was in the back seat and I was telling my brother like that I was born a boy, but things changed and I just happened to be a girl. And he was saying like, no, you were born a girl, like you were not born a boy. And okay, this is gonna be embarrassing, but you know how when you go down a hill in a car and you kind of lose your stomach almost like a roller coaster. Well, that's the feeling that I got, and the only thing that I could link up into my brain in that moment in time was saying, well, no, I actually was a boy. But when we went down that hill and I lost my stomach feeling, I lost my penis. And he was so disgusted by that, and he told on me, and the person that was babysitting us, like, she yelled at me and told me that I can't say things like that, which is unfortunate that that's how she had to go about it, you know. I mean, there's multiple stories like that. I mean, being upset that I couldn't go outside without a shirt on, but my brother could. And I was really confused. I didn't understand it. Or like playing house, and I was always the dad figure and stuff like that, you know. A lot of it makes sense today. At that time, no one really had any idea. People just assumed that I was a tomboy, and that was okay. So my parents did absolutely nothing wrong, you know. People aren't informed on these types of things. And it sucks, but that's okay. You know, I'm okay. I'm here today, and I'm thankful for every breath I take. So I don't want anyone to beat themselves up over, you know, childhood things, because I had a good childhood. Then the awkwardness of puberty hits. That awkwardness of finding out what your place is and who are your friends, and do you have a boyfriend, do you have a girlfriend, stuff like that. And I'm not gonna lie, I have dated boys, you know, literally boys, in my past, because that's what society expects out of a girl, is you're supposed to date a boy, and that's what it is. But I had a really hard time when I was a teenager. Very hard. This is real talk, you know, I don't talk about it to a lot of people that I'm not close with, but it's kind of a surprise or like a miracle that I'm here today. I was really isolated from everything. It's kind of crazy to look back and think about that time in my life and how I was in a really bad place. And I made a lot of poor decisions. I mean, I messed up a lot. And I regret a lot of the decisions that I had made. I didn't feel really appreciated or loved in that time, even though I knew that I had family and friends that had loved me. But I was a very, not religious, well, kind of religious person, and I would go to church about 3 times a week doing Bible studies, youth group, and stuff like that. And I was fine then, but when I really started to question my sexual orientation, and I just assumed that, you know, okay, I like girls, this must mean that I am a lesbian, and I dress a little bit more boyish, so it means that I am a butch lesbian. And when I came out saying that, you know, the church I was going to, they gave me this ultimatum that I had to tell my parents in one weekend that I was having like these feelings and emotions, and if I didn't tell them, that they would tell them. So that was instantly when I was done with organized religion. I was really done. I was really hurt. I felt betrayed, and all I really wanted to know was that I was a good person and I wasn't going to hell. But all I heard was, your eternal life is in danger and you are going to hell, so we need to do something about this to fix you. And I didn't need fixing. I needed love in my life. I didn't need to be fixed. There was nothing wrong with me. What was wrong with me was the fact that I struggled after that, and I went down a bad path. And I'm not like putting blame on anything, but it didn't help that I was struggling with a lot of depression, and on top of that, feeling like my one safe place was just ripped out from underneath me, and I had nowhere to go. But you know, my parents, they still stuck by me, they didn't really know the full extent of what was going on with me. I think my mom had a little bit more of an idea. You know, my mom sat me down and she told me, I don't want to go to another morgue and identify another child. And that kind of like, it woke me up, you know. I didn't want to do that to my mom because she didn't deserve that at all. God, it doesn't feel good like saying that because I'm so much of a different person today. But that's what it was in that time. And that's what I'm saying, like, when I talk about issues of, you know, trans topics, 41% of trans individuals have attempted suicide. And that's a large number. That's a really large number. And I want to break that down really bad. You know, that's why I want to work with LGBT youth further in my future. Because I struggled a lot as a youth and I didn't have proper resources or support in my life for that kind of stuff. But once I started to get my shit together and actually giving a shit about myself and learning about like self-care and self-love for me as a person, that's when things really started to change. And I had met Brianna, you know, a few years later, and instantly, like, things just moved really quick with us, but not like super quick, but I just knew there was something really special about this person, and I knew that I wanted to get to know her more. She came in the perfect time in my life. You know, I was recovering from a lot of things, and I was honest with her, I was real with her, I was straight up saying, you know, like, I had these issues, and this is pretty recent in my life, but like, I do want to get to know you, but are you okay with this? And she was hands down just supportive and loving, and that is fucking incredible, you know? She has been like the biggest support. I tend to like shut down, and that's not good, but I shut down and I don't like to talk to people. And there was a few times that she had asked me, like, do you want to transition? And I would just, no, absolutely not. Like, that's not happening. Like, this is me and I'm fine. But the more that I was becoming more comfortable with myself and who I was as a person, and I was finally okay. Like, yeah, I'm dating this fucking awesome person and she's incredible on so many levels. And why would I want to hide that from anyone? I wouldn't. And so once I came to terms with that side of my life, my sexual orientation, I just found so much love and appreciation for myself. And Brianna helped me out a lot with that, and I don't think she even realizes how much she did help me out with that. Further through our relationship, about like 2 years in, I started kind of slumping down into this depressive mode again, and I didn't understand why. I didn't understand what was wrong with me. Why couldn't I be happy when I had so much going for me? And I have this wonderful relationship, and, you know, I was going to college and feeling good about things, but I couldn't understand why I felt so unhappy. I used a lot of resources, like the Trevor Project and the GLBT network thing. I don't know what it's called, I'm sorry. But I would talk to people on that, and they kind of helped me and almost like counseled me, you know, trying to work out my thoughts and my emotions, like, why am I feeling this way? And why am I feeling uncomfortable being me? And then I started, you know, questioning. I didn't, even at that point, I didn't really know much about trans issues at all. And it just seemed like a scary thing that I didn't want to even touch because it was so foreign to me. And then I started reaching out to resources on my campus. I had to turn off the lights and not look at Brianna, and that was the only way I could tell her that I was questioning my gender. You know, she didn't act surprised whatsoever, and she was honestly more concerned about me and my well-being, and she just wanted me to be happy. And she also reassured me that she would love me no matter what through anything, including a transition. So that was really incredible. So with Brianna knowing that I was questioning my gender, we would kind of play around with it, and we would go out to places where people didn't know us, and she would use the name Hayden instead of my given name at birth, and we would just kind of play around with it and see if it was a good fit and stuff like that. With Brianna knowing that I was wanting to transition, it made it so much easier to go through this process because I knew I had someone by my side, and I knew that she was gonna love me no matter what. But then I started coming out slowly to friends, and I told my brother, and my brother, he was actually really great about it, and I knew he would be. I mean, dude comes to Pride Fest with me almost every year, and he's a big advocate and ally for the LGBT community. But yeah, you know, each day is still kind of this ongoing like uphill climb, you know, where I'm finding new things about myself each day, and I didn't give myself enough credit when I was younger, well, a teenager. I've learned a lot about self-care and self-love throughout this process, and it's been really incredible. So that's kind of the nutshell of the story of me and how I've come to being who I am today. It's kind of weird to be saying it all out loud because it's been one hell of a journey, but I wouldn't change it for anything. That wraps this up. My camera is going to die. It has died a few times in trying to make this, so I'm sorry if it's really shaky. I will do a video sometime soon. I think I'm going to do some more on the topics that I was kind of brainstorming, but we'll see. I don't know when I'll get one out because I'm crazy busy working all the time, and it's been crazy fun, but I'm really busy. Well, thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, please feel free to shoot me a message. I'm more than happy to answer any questions. And you can subscribe to my channel, share this video, give it a thumbs up. I will see you guys next time whenever I do another video. So have a safe and wonderful few weeks. Alright, thanks guys. Bye.